Hello. Welcome to the Daily Moth. Today is Friday, January 3rd. Are you ready for the news? Let's go. President Trump ordered an airstrike that killed Iranian official named Qasem Soleimani. He died driving to the Baghdad International Airport in Iraq. And his troops were the top, most second powerful authority in the country. You can see pictures and videos of just the fire and devastation that happened. He was killed to protect the United States. Soleimani has been involved in planning to attack America. Plus those serving in Iraq and in that area. Iranian president said, and dropping the bomb itself was an act of international terrorism. And today, the United States Embassy in Baghdad, he cautions that all law enforcement should leave Iraq quickly because tensions are rising and there is a discussion of a potential future war with the United States and Iraq. And attacks against the United States Army in the Middle East. Israel, they plan to possibly attack Iraq. They have an alliance with the United States. To airstrike as well. Trump shared a retweet with a few people who were congratulating and saying, "Good job on the airstrike," because Soleimani was responsible for many different conflicts and deaths and acts of terrorism. And Trump also tweeted himself saying that Soleimani was responsible for the deaths of many Iranian protesters in the month of December. In New York, he said that that no one should shed a tear or be distressed because of his death. He also critiqued Trump saying that broke his promise that he made before of not pulling us into a war. The response is the United States will send more troops to the Middle East. And we've already sent 750 troops. But with all the chaos that is happening, we need more at the U.S. Embassy. And the New York Times says that before Obama, he had an opportunity to kill Soleimani, but he was afraid killing this man would start a war with Iran. So Trump has a press conference tonight at 5 to speak to the Americans about that airstrike. And another hot topic about Trump and the airstrike is that he did the airstrike to be reelected in 2020. Then an article released a video of him speaking in 2011, and he said that he foresaw President Obama starting a war with Iran so that he could be reelected in 2012. Do you see the correlation? And now we have other serious conflicts in the Middle East. Australia is experiencing just horrible bushfires in the south and east coast. 20 casualties have already happened, and 500 species of animals. And people who have gone missing, and over 1,000 people's homes have been destroyed. And fires have often happened in Australia. It's common, but this year is just even more devastating than normal. Just the arid temperatures and the lack of rain and the strong gusts of winds. You know, people may have to evacuate from the fires because they predict even stronger gusts of winds coming. So this is due to climate change and something called a dipole, where it just pours out torrential rain, but then Australia is dry. You can see the smoke covering most of Australia in the southeast part. You can see these are the same pictures, but the top is before the fire and the bottom is after. Many people are criticizing this man because of his policy change. This year is 2020. There have been a few articles released really suggesting a word of caution that when you sign or fill out things, you should write the full year 2020 on checks or important legal documents. When you should write the full year 2020. Because there's a chance for fraud if you only put 120, because then scammers, they can easily add another number. 2018, 2019, 2021, 2022. So on checks and documents, they can make it look like you signed it when make it look like it happened a few years ago. Or that it's going to happen and going to be passed in the future, and then it could be a bad check. So make sure at the end you don't just put 20, you put 2020. That advice went viral after a police department posted that information. So that means you should consider putting 2020 on your documents and checks. After this year, it won't be as important. The American Girl Company has released a new American Girl of the Year. Her name is Joss Kendrick. She is 10 years old and was born deaf. She has a hearing aid, and she is the first deaf doll in America, and comes with a book that tells her story. She's a surfer and a competitive cheerleader from California. An American Girl is partnering with Hearing Loss of America. They're giving that organization money to support their organization. And they also contacted a professional deaf surfer, Crystal Da Silva, so that she could be involved in the team creating Joss and her character. Here's my interview with her. Hello, I'm Crystal Da Silva. This is my name sign. I was born deaf, and I'm from, and this is its name sign. I decided to enter a local surfing competition. And then I decided to continue, and my skills really improved over time. Can you explain how you got involved with the American Girl team? And what your role was? They found me through Instagram, and what's your perspective and opinion on the doll Joss Kendrick? So deaf children can know that they can accomplish anything in life. They don't have to be afraid to try anything. Thank you for your input. You can follow her on Instagram at Da Silva, and she has a clothing brand line that you can find on Etsy. She sells bikinis or swimsuits. One part of the book that she's oral or reads lips. The doll and book can be bought online. That's all for this week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend and stay with the light.